Bank of Japan has never really been fully independent. Ministry of Finance sends their man every other term, and Bank of Japan chooses their own man the other alternative term. So no, it's not hugely surprising, but given that inflation has been picking up so strongly, it is somewhat surprising that they haven't disbanded the YCC, the yield curve control.
But don't you think that it'd cause like a global bond shock? Because maybe they're being pressured elsewhere. Can't that be a reasonable expectation why they haven't moved?
Could be, yeah. I mean, look, the budget deficit's now 250% of GDP and rising. 60% of all JGBs are owned by Bank of Japan. That's another, amazing statistic. Much of it the long-term bonds. And the question is, how long can this insanity last? So, but yeah, I mean, look, I think that, the authorities are going to have two battlegrounds to kind of face. One is the yen, which is obviously right now is strengthening. You could actually argue that the strengthening yen puts less pressure on BOJ to do anything, right? On the other hand, you've got the JGB market, which is, they've suppressed yields for a very long time. So we'll see how it pans out, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if the yen had kept on weakening, that would have definitely been something that would make the BOJ feel pushed into a corner to pivot. Quickly, Amir, then where would you see the Japanese yen towards the end of the year going into next year?
It's a really tough one, this, because we thought that at the beginning of the year, we thought the yen-dollar rate would be around 120 level by now, because we thought Bank of Japan would have at least disbanded the YCC. They haven't. So I think probably somewhere between 130 and 140 by the end of the year. Of course, if BOJ does move, then the yen could strengthen further. But yeah, I mean, we're just waiting and hoping that Bank of Japan comes to its senses and moves now before inflation really gets out of control.